Topic of the day. Yeah! As you know, the Wild West was known for being lawless, even though it had men for laws. And after the Civil War, there were outbursts of people moving to the West. That's why it's called the Wild West. There are many famous people, like Billy the Kid, who has his TV show, and Jim Miller, and Tom Horn. There are many more, but I'm not getting into them today. So just subscribe and hope you enjoy this. So, the Wild West. The Wild West rose after the Civil War, which was from 1861 to 1865. The Wild West rose in the 1865s and fell in the 1890s to 1900s. And the Civil War's peak was at 1863, but the peak of the Wild West was 1865 to 1895. Some three gunslingers that are very famous. Jim Miller has one connection with Tom Horn, Billy the Kid, and Tom Horn. So, let's talk about some gunslingers. There's Jim Miller. In 1869, Miller's grandparents were murdered. He was blamed for it, so he shot his brother. The shot killed his brother-in-law. Not his just brother, his brother-in-law. And he was one of 8 siblings, being the 8th. His most known crime was the Bobbitt assassination. And that's pretty much it for him. How about Billy the Kid? Well, his real name wasn't Billy. His actual name was Henry McCartney. And he was linked to 9 murders. His first arrest was at age 16, where he was caught stealing food. And his most known crime was the murder of Lincoln County Sheriff William Brady in 1878. And that was during the Lincoln County War. If you ever have played Red Dead Redemption or Red Dead Redemption 2, you might have heard of the Pinkerton Agency. Well, Tom Horn was a Pinkerton. That's right, they did exist. Second to all those people who said it was wrong. So, Tom Horn was also a rodeo performer and convicted of murder in 1902 of killing a 14-year-old Willie Nickel. Willie was the son of Kent Nickel, who had been involved in a range feud with Jim Miller. That's right, Tom Horn and Jim Miller existed together. That's shocking. So while Tom Horn was in jail at one point, he wrote his autobiography, which I think went a little something like this. Hey, Sheriff, can you give me a piece of paper and a pencil?
What did you say?
I said, can you give me a piece of paper and a pencil?
Why you need a gosh darn piece of paper and a pencil?
I just need it, okay?
For what?
My autobiography.
You're selfish. Here you go.
Thank you. When his autobiography was done, he called it The Life of Tom Horn, which made him a larger-than-life figure because he wrote it in jail. That sucks. If you've ever heard of the Dalton gang, you know they did not last long. Only 2 years of crime, but they committed 4 major crimes, and they are a very famous gang. For some backstory, the Dalton brothers, or at least Bob and Emmett, first worked as lawmen before committing crimes with their oldest brother, Bill. Bill didn't actually commit crimes. He worked as a spy for the gang. So he has a clean slate, technically. The gang lasted for about 2 years. They committed 4 major crimes, as I said. But one of the biggest crimes they've had is the Coffeyville bank robbery. In this robbery, 2 of the main 3 brothers died, with Bill not dying because he obviously spied. 4 of the 9 gang members in the Dalton gang, or the Dalton brothers, died that day, and those 4 were buried in Death Alley, as they call it. The tragic fall of the Dalton brothers happened because they were fooled by the bank. Yeah, they were fooled. People who worked as lawmen got fooled. How it happened was the bank, they stalled and they said, oh, there was a time bomb on the bank and you have to wait this long. So they waited about 5 minutes before they realized, oh, he was wrong. Damn, we have to go rob the bank. They robbed the bank, they get $17,000, and Bill was the only one who got that because everyone else died. Bill had 20 puncture wounds. He had 20 bullets hit him, and his double-barrel shotgun hit him, and he still survived. Even though 2 of the other brothers died after 10 feet away from the bank, even though his other brothers died, Bill did not quit. He decided to make a gang with Bill Doolin. Basically, I imagine him as the drunk Bill Dalton. Just imagine that. Hey, what's your name? My name's Bill Doolin. Your name's Bill Doolin? I'm Bill Dalton. From the Dalton gang? Whoa! Yeah, I was in that gang. Do you want to make a gang with me? I sure would. Shout out to Pug Films, who voiced the sheriff in Tom Wynn's section. Congrats to you.